So we're just recently at the State Fair of Texas where we saw them show off the new 2020 Super Duty trucks with new powertrains, new technology, and a lot of cool stuff. We actually have a video on our second channel, our news channel, about that. So you should go check out that video if you want some information on the 2020, and hopefully we'll be getting a 2020 soon enough so we compare it. But this one that we're driving today is the 2019 Ford F-250 Super Duty. Now the Super Duty trucks utilize a distinct chassis from the lighter F-150s. These are made for heavy towing and heavy work. Now the Super Duty was brought to life back in 1998 for the 1999 model year. And here we are in 2019 and we have the 4th generation truck. This generation is lighter and stronger than the previous generation thanks to an aluminum alloy body. Before we get into that body though, let's talk about some of the trim levels you can get with the Super Duty. So with the Super Duty, you can get a 250, a 350, and a 450. But in this review, we're basically just talking about the 250. The 250 can come in an XL, an XLT, a Lariat, a King Ranch, a Platinum, or the top of the line is the Limited, and that's what we're driving here. And we did just review the F-150 Limited, so a lot of the good things and a lot of the bad things kind of translate into this one, except for this one is a bigger, stronger truck. But let's get into it. So first of all, let's talk about the color. The color of this one is ruby red metallic. I think it looks really good on this truck. And everything about the exterior here just screams power and stature. Obviously, you have that beefy front grille and these huge headlights with LED daytime running lights. You have the big Super Duty stamp right here in the hood. And right up here in the front, you have chrome tow hooks. On the side here, you get the F-250 badge with the Limited stamp above it, signifying that this is the top trim. You also get the Power Stroke Diesel badge down here, signifying what's under the hood. We'll get to that in just a bit. Another badge of note is the For OffRoad badge here, telling you that this thing is built to handle some off-roading. Another nice feature here in the Limited, just like the Limited F-150 that we had, is the retractable running boards. So you just walk up to the door, open it up, and you get your running boards come out for you. Obviously a nice luxury touch, but it also helps with off-roading so you don't have your running boards in your way while off-roading. Now the F-250 is offered with 17, 18, or 20-inch wheels. We have the 20-inch wheels here wrapped in Michelin tires. Moving around to the back of the truck, you get that distinctive Limited tailgate, again with Super Duty stamped into the tailgate. You can drop the tailgate with the push of a button on the remote. And you get Ford's integrated tailgate step, which for this big truck is definitely needed. Even for me being 6'1", that's a pretty good step up into this bed. Speaking of the bed, it is a good size. You do have plenty of tie downs and you have LED lighting integrated into the bed. All right, let's go check out what's under the hood. Pretty sure this is the first time I've utilized the full height of my tripod, but you got to see into this engine bay. So like I already mentioned, this thing is the 6.7 liter Power Stroke V8 diesel with a single turbocharger that pushes 450 horsepower, 935 foot-pounds of torque, and is matched up to a 6-speed automatic transmission. Now obviously you can also have the F-250 Super Duty in a 6.2 liter gasoline V8 engine. This is naturally aspirated. That one gets 385 horsepower and 430 foot-pounds of torque. Now I'm going to talk about tow rating, something I don't know a whole lot about, so if I get this wrong, please leave a comment down below and let me know. Obviously, the tow rating has a lot to do with the configuration that you get. This one, the F-250 4x4 crew cab, has a max payload of 3,480 pounds, has a conventional towing rating of 17,500 pounds, and a gooseneck tow rating of 14,700 pounds. All right, with that, let's take a look at the interior, then we'll take it for a drive. Well, let's start off with the rear seats here. Again, you get that running board. And as you can see, there's just a ton of room back here. There's a lot of room in that F-150. There is even more room here. Plenty of knee room, plenty of headroom, plenty of shoulder room. You also get heated seats back here, a 110 volt power outlet, and 2 USB charging ports. And being a limited trim, the interior appointments back here are just as nice as the front, which we're about to check out. You also get a good amount of storage back here underneath these seats. And obviously you can lift them up, fold out a tray, and have a more flat floor if you need to load a bunch of stuff back here. All right, so let's move along in here to the front seats. Now the interior is what has a lot more in common with the last vehicle I drove, the limited F-150, than the exterior does. So if I gloss over a few things, I hope you watch that other video. We'll start off with the interior color scheme here. This is the camelback leather interior. So you do get a two-tone brown and tan look with tan contrast stitching. You do have a few appointments of wood and some brushed aluminum looking trim pieces. The steering wheel is a leather wrap steering wheel, also with that contrast stitching, and it is a heated steering wheel. The seats have that limited emblem in them. They are also heated and cooled and massaging. The center console is really big. You have plenty of room for some Texas size fast food cups. The shifter is up on the steering column. You get that limited emblem here in the center console, as well as a serial number. And again, inside this center console is massive. You can fit bags in there, laptops in there, iPads in there, whatever you want. You do get 2 USB ports, no USB-C, no wireless charging, but you do get 2 USB ports. You also get a 12 volt accessory port and a 110 volt 400 watt plug. Tech-wise, you do have that same 8-inch touchscreen display, running Sync 3, and it does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto integration. You obviously do get a backup camera, but in this vehicle you also get a 360 camera. You get up to 7 cameras. You can get an extra camera to help you tow, but those 360 cameras definitely come in handy when you're parking this big truck. You also get retractable side mirrors that fold in with a push of a button. They don't fold in automatically when you lock it, which is what I would prefer, but they do fold in with a push of a button. And this one, unlike the F-150, you can turn the truck off and then push the button instead of having to remember to actually hit that button before you turn the truck off. So there are a lot of other goodies in this truck, but just like I stated in the F-150 limited review, this is a very expensive truck. We'll get to the price in a few minutes, but for as expensive as this truck is, it doesn't feel as premium as some of the other premium trucks that I've driven, namely the Ram trucks, where I think Ford used to be the king of the interiors and technology. Those Ram trucks are just really taking it up a notch. So as you might imagine, this is a big, comfortable, and kind of loud truck to drive with that diesel engine under the hood. I know there are people that do it, but I wouldn't buy this as just a everyday, daily driving truck. I really like the size of it. I really like that it can go pretty much anywhere. But for me, if you're not going to utilize all that this truck can give you, you're better off just getting you an F-150. If you do plan on towing or spending a ton of time in this doing some work stuff, I definitely understand it. Fuel economy wise, well, these trucks don't really have to have their ratings done by the EPA. I've been averaging 15.3 miles to the gallon or so in this truck for the full week, but they do have pretty huge fuel tanks, so driving this whole week I'm still at half a tank and 264 miles to go till empty. So that's definitely a plus if you're driving long distances. Again, I don't know how many times I've said it, but this is a very comfortable truck. The limited trim even steps that up even more with these heated, cooled, and massaging seats. I didn't do any long road trips in this one like I did that F-150, but again, this interior is so similar to that. I can just imagine this thing will be a great cruiser. This one does have the four-wheel drive package, so we get 2 high, a 4 high, and a 4 low setting. You also get a lot of cool tech in here to help with towing, and that's really what this truck is about. It's really focused towards those people that need it for work, for everyday towing, and for being able to get off the road and still get to where you need to go. But this Limited just lets you do that in absolute luxury. So let's stop and talk a little bit about that fuel capacity, because I think it's pretty interesting. And I've got everything written down here so I don't mess up. But the 6.7 liter diesel engine with the regular cab has a 29 gallon fuel tank. The Super Cab has a 29 gallon fuel tank with the 148 inch wheelbase. The 164 inch wheelbase has a 34 gallon fuel tank. The Crew Cab, which is what we're in, with the 160 inch wheelbase, which is what we have, has the 34 gallon fuel tank. Jump up to the 176 inch wheelbase and you get a 48 gallon fuel tank. And again, that's all the ones from the diesel engine. The gas engine is a little bit less complicated. For the 6.2 liter V8 gas engine, the regular cab and Super Cab both get a 34 gallon fuel tank, and the Crew Cab gets a 48 gallon fuel tank. Again, I think this is super interesting and super useful, because if you drive one of these trucks for work, you probably are hauling it for some good distances, and having that extra fuel capacity is going to help greatly with that. All right, now that we've driven it, let's talk a little bit about the price of this truck. So the base price for a Super Duty F-250 comes in at $33,150. Now, granted, for that, you're not getting a lot of the tech in here. You're not even getting this Crew Cab, and you're not going to get four-wheel drive, but you are going to get a big work truck. If you do want all the fancy stuff, the Limited comes in with a base price of just over $80,000. And this specific one we're in right now is $84,500. And again, that is a good chunk of change, but if you're driving this thing cross-country and you want to be comfortable and have some good tech, this is one of the best trucks to buy. Again, I think Ram is doing a great job with their trucks, even their heavy-duty trucks, so I would definitely take a look at one of those as well. But I see these things driving all over Texas, and I definitely see why. They are great trucks to be out on the road, to be out in the country, even driving up on the highways, no problem. All right, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed my look at the 2019 Ford F-250 Super Duty. If you're interested in seeing the 2020, be sure to leave a thumbs up on this video and leave a comment down below so you can let Ford know that you want to see me review the new Super Duties. With that, I also want to know what you think about this 2019. Leave those comments down below as well. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.
Once again.
If you enjoyed that video, please also go check out TXGARAGE.com. We've got a lot of written articles there, written reviews, written news articles, events covered, events coming up, a lot of cool stuff there. And if it wasn't for TXGARAGE.com, this YouTube channel wouldn't happen. Please go check that out as well. Thanks for watching.